Hi, Leslie. Well,
Hey,
first of all, I wanted to thank you for agreeing to sit down and, kind of talk to us about your story. We're really excited to hear about your experience with the quantum cellular scan, and share it with our clientele here. So
okay.
we're going to dive right in. So our first question, can you start by telling us what initially drew you to want to try the quantum cellular scan?
Yes. So I was having some health issues and I talked to my doctor about them and I wasn't happy with her answers. I felt like she was treating my symptoms and not really figuring out what was wrong because I knew like there's something going on. I've got this. And she was just like, okay, just double this. And I wasn't happy. I felt like there's something going on. I need answers.
Right. Okay, so how does the quantum cellular scan work, and what was that process like for you?
So, our bodies are made of energy and frequencies, and the quantum cellular scan works off of those. And it really was such a simple process. I was like, wait, is this even doing anything? Because it was that easy. It's not invasive, like it's super simple. Anyone can do it.
Right. Okay. And then was this your first time trying something like the quantum cellular scan with the energy and frequencies? And if so, what were your initial thoughts and expectations?
Well, I'd had a biofeedback scan done when I was a teenager. So this wasn't new, but I will say that the quantum cellular scan was a lot more in depth compared to the scans that I had had before.
Right. Yeah. Um, okay. And then, what we feel like we've encountered lately, a lot of people are skeptical about new health technologies. Were you skeptical about the results before trying the scan?
No, and I think that has a lot to do with the fact that, like I said, I'd had one done before. So I was familiar with the biofeedback scans. And my parents were, leaned more towards natural supplements and that kind of stuff. So I wasn't skeptical at all. Now, my husband, on the other hand, he was like, if I don't know how it works, I don't trust it. But then
Mm-hmm.
once he saw my scan results and then just the results of being on my supplement protocol, he saw the improvement. Then he was like, okay, I'm convinced now.
Right. Okay. Well, that's good to hear. We also do hear that often as well. So after you completed the scan, what kind of results did you receive? And if possible, can you share some specifics?
So something that really stood out to me was since I was in my 20s, I felt like my thyroid just wasn't working right. I had some hormone imbalances. I knew something was wrong. Again, I feel like we know our bodies.
Yeah.
And I've had so many blood tests done between my primary care physician and my OB, and my thyroid levels would always come back normal. Well, the range for your thyroid is big, and mine were always on the low side, but because they were still considered normal, nothing else was done. That was the end of the story. So when Jared did my scan and my thyroid showed up as needing some support, it was not functioning like it should have been. I felt some validation there, like, okay, I knew something was wrong with my body. The scan told me what's going on. And it was just, like I said, it was really a point of validation, like, okay, I knew something was wrong. Now I can correct this.
Yeah. So let's talk about the treatment and protocol process after the scan. How did you feel during your follow-up when the product protocol was explained to you? What were your initial thoughts on that?
Well, I had a few of those.
Yeah.
I guess my initial thought was I was a little overwhelmed. I was also very excited because, when Tony called and she explained everything, it was, there were a lot of different items that were going to, help this issue or that issue. So that was impressive to me, but then it was a little overwhelming as well. So when she really explained everything, like, okay, this is going to support this is going to support that. Then I was like, okay, this is how everything's going to work together. And then once everything was gone through and explained, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get started.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And now the quantum cellular scan, would you say that it was beneficial to your health? And in what ways have you noticed improvements in your health?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I would say I feel like I'm even more in tune with my body because I'm learning to be balanced and learning like, okay, when I eat or drink, this is how I feel. So it's helping me to see what my body needs and what my body doesn't need. And I feel like it's something we're continually learning our bodies, especially as we grow and change and get a little older. We're having to make those adjustments.
Right, right. Yeah, that's the intention, with the biofeedback and the quantum cellular scan. We're trying to balance the body. Now, um, the results from the scan, did it influence any significant changes in your lifestyle or health routines? I know you mentioned a little bit about food and drink, and that you're feeling a little bit more in tune, but was there anything else specifically that it just kind of changed your lifestyle on?
Absolutely. So I guess it was about 2 years ago was when I had my scan, and at that point, just peeling my body out of bed to take my son to school was a chore. That's when I was like, okay, something is wrong. This is not me. And fast forward 2 months after I started my supplement protocol, and I was getting up at 6:30 without an alarm. And I'm like, what is going on? So at that point, I was like, okay, I knew I felt bad. But then when I started feeling better, I had this huge comparison of like, okay, wow, I felt horrible. That was huge for me. And I felt like I was able to show up better as a mother because I wasn't having to drag myself around and just be there. I was a more active participant in my kids' lives.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's really good to hear. We like that. So, we appreciate you kind of giving us your story from start to finish. Now, what kind of advice would you give to somebody that's considering trying the quantum cellular scan but is still unsure about its effectiveness?
Well, this is going to sound so cheesy, but I really feel like I'm living proof. That's why I love talking to people about it, and I get a little passionate because I've lived it. I know the results that I've had. And I would just tell anybody who's skeptical, give us a call. We will answer any questions you have. And then you can determine from that conversation, like, is this for me? But I 100% feel like everyone should have the quantum cellular scan done because it touches on so many things in our bodies
Mhm.
that it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, that's great advice. And like you said, give us a call and they're going to be calling you. So, now our last question here. Is there anything else that you'd like to share about your overall experience or any future steps that you're planning to take in your health journey?
Something I would share is I wish I had done it sooner. Because I feel like my scan was definitely a step in the right direction, and my journey is far from over, but I already can tell the difference. Like I said, 2 years and how I was feeling then and now. I'm 2 years older. I should be feeling worse, but I feel better. So to me, that's a huge thing.
Right.
Um, I really think that this is something that could help so many people.
Yeah. All right. Well, honestly, that was extremely well said. And, I really appreciate, like I've mentioned, just you feeling open enough and, in a vulnerable state to tell us how, you've been on this health journey with Alive for Health. So we thank you, Leslie. We appreciate you. We're happy that
You're
you're part
so
of the
welcome.
team.
I am too. I love it.
Okay, great. All right. Well, we will talk to you soon. Thank you.
Okay.